Hello everybody, welcome back to Coffin Up Stitches. Today I will be teaching you guys what I like to call the diamond stitch. I do want to say I'm sorry about the lighting. As you guys know, I'm moving, so I'm just using lamps right now to try and get everything in. But we'll go ahead and get into this stitch. Today we're going to be using a N9mm. And then just some burlap blanket yarn. I just hope that this comes through really good for you guys on camera, because this is a darker color than what I was making the blanket I showed you guys earlier in an earlier video. So this is just a darker color. My pets actually really love that blanket. I don't know if it's the stitch or if it's just the yarn itself, but this is actually probably going to end up being their blanket. This was made for my mom once before, not this stitch, but we had used this yarn, and I've just been kind of like, well, what am I going to use it for? What am I going to crochet with it? So I wound it up, and I cannot find the end of it today. But just get you some burlap blanket yarn, or if you want to use the size 4, you're more than welcome. I would suggest an I or a J, depending on what fits your hand better or how you feel these stitches look better. There we go. But I like the way the burlap blanket looks with this. It shows more of a 3D effect, more of a puffy effect. So get you a N9mm with just some burlap blanket yarn. You could probably use burlap big if you wanted to. This stitch, you want to have an odd number. I'm just going to do a sample form for you guys. So we're going to start with a slip stitch. Just put your hook in there and just kind of tighten it down. You don't want it so tight that your hook won't move, but you do want it a little snug on there. So about like that right there. I am going to try to stay in focus today a little bit more than what I did last time. I realized that it wasn't great last time. So like I said, just an odd number of stitches. So for my sample, I'm going to do 17, but if you want it any longer, then you just can crochet till you get to an odd number, maybe lay it up against your sofa or your bed, or if you want it to, you know, specifically fit something. But just make sure you have an odd number of stitches, okay? So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. So this is what 17 stitches look like. A very dark color. I'm sorry guys, I know it's going to be hard to see against this black. So what you're going to do is, once you get your odd number of chains, is you're going to go into the 4th chain from the hook. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you can use the bumps on the back if you want to. They are a little bit harder to see with this yarn, but if you are using a medium 4 yarn, you could definitely go into the back bump. I would actually suggest that with this one if you're using a medium 4 weight yarn. But if you're doing the big fluffy yarn like me, then I just go into the top one. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4 chains from the hook, and you're doing a double crochet all the way across, okay? Real easy, real simple, nothing hard about this foundation row that we're doing here. Just double crochets all the way across until you get to the end of your chains. So if you need a refresher, a double crochet, you're going to wrap your hook with your yarn, go into the stitch, pull up a loop, wrap your yarn, go through 2, and go through 2. You're just going to do this all the way down. Like I said, this will be a diamond, but you will also be learning a new stitch in this video if you're watching them consecutively. We will be doing a brand new stitch here. Oh, I feel like that's a little loose, so I'm going to redo that one. I feel like it got a little loose on me there. And guys, this yarn is really forgiving. So, I mean, if you feel like you're a little loose, you know what? It's okay. This yarn is really, really forgiving when it comes to crocheting. So, if you're new, or you're new maybe to doing this stitch or working with this yarn, don't stress about it. Like I said, very forgiving yarn. Let you guys watch me till I get to the end of here. A couple of more stitches. Okay, so we're to the end right there. You can tell by the knot. So after you do this, the next, you're going to start doing your repeating rows. You're going to repeat rows 2 through 5. It's really only a 2 repeater row. You can also use a stitch marker on here as well if you want to, or a stitch counter. You can use stitch marker, stitch counter. If you're making a big blanket like I did, I do suggest using stitch markers, just because that way you can count your stitches along through here. Like maybe say every, since it's an odd, you may want to do like every 22 or every 32 or whatever, or 33 or whatever. So you can, so you'll know, okay, right here I've got 33, so then you don't go up another 33, and you know, okay, that's 66. So you can kind of like keep count that way, so you don't have to just maybe keep an eye on your chains, but you know how many you're going to be separating in between. I done that when I done mine. I forget how many chains it was, but I know it ended up being 127 inches because it is for a king size bed, but it was an odd number of chains. So when you get to the end of your foundation row, you are going to chain 1, and then you're going to turn your work, and you're going to single crochet all the way across, okay? So single crochet is, you're going to go in the stitch, go underneath both, the whole V, go underneath both to give you a little bit more support and sturdiness. Pull up a loop, wrap your yarn, pull through both. And you're going to do that all the way across. Just a simple single crochet all the way across. You're going to go into the stitch, wrap the yarn after you pull up your loop, and pull through 2. Into the stitch, pull up a loop, wrap your yarn, pull through 2. Into the stitch, pull up a loop, wrap your yarn, and go through both. So far it's real simple, right guys? Right. So here, when we get to the end of this row, is when you will learn a new stitch. It's a treble crochet. And this, I always had problems with this treble crochet. I don't know why, because now it just seems so easy to me to do after doing this big blanket using the treble crochet, because it is one of those stitches that you're just like, oh no, it's so much yarn, but it is really, really easy to work. So one thing that crocheters do forget, and it's new crocheters, seasoned crocheters, we all do this, but you're not going to go into this hole. You're going to go into the top of that turning chain. So please do not forget the top of this turning chain right here. Just want to slide your hook in there and single crochet into it. Okay, so when you get, that is your first repeater row. Row 2 is every even row is going to be a single crochet. So if you want to keep a stitch counter, so you know if you're on an odd or even, not stitch counter, but a row counter to know if you're on an odd or even row, you are more than welcome to. You can also, if you're worried that you may forget, you know, where that where you chained up, because I did that on the bigger blanket, even I have to use stitch markers still, you can always slide your little stitch marker in there. Go ahead and hook both of those pieces of yarn you're going to be crocheting into, and then that way you know your sides are straight. Because when you're working on a big project or a project, especially with this yarn, you can definitely get lost big time. So what you're going to do on your odd row, which is going to be row number 3, you are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn your work, and this is where we're going to do our first treble crochet. So what you're going to do is to do a treble crochet, you're going to wrap your yarn twice, and then right here for this one, this first double crochet that you did right here, we're also doing a front post too. So you're going to go in behind that, okay, and you're going to wrap your yarn there, pull it through, wrap your yarn, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then pull through your last 2, and there's your first treble crochet. So in the next stitch, which I just say you can look straight up right here, you're just going to do a double crochet. This is what's going to give you that diamond pattern, okay? So you just want to double crochet into that one. Then you're going to do another treble crochet, 1, 2. So you're not going to use this one, you're going to use the one right beside it, okay? And you're going to go in behind it to do the front post treble crochet. You're going to wrap and pull it through, wrap, pull through 2, wrap, pull through 2, wrap, and pull through the last 2, okay? You can kind of see how it's giving you that 3D effect right there, where it's puffy, then it end puffy. Okay, so the next one, what do? We double crochet into it. So you're going to look at this one right here, where you're not going to be going in behind it. Like I said, just eyeball it if you want to eyeball it, and go straight up and just double crochet into that, okay? Again, we're going to do a treble crochet, wrap your yarn twice, go find the next stitch right here, and you're going to go up underneath it, come out the other side, wrap your yarn, pull it through, wrap your yarn, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Again, another double crochet, eyeballing it there into the next one, and then another treble crochet. And you're just going to do this all the way across until you come to the end. So it is double crochet into the top of the stitch of the top of the single crochet you did, and then to do the treble, you're going to jump down to the double crochets you did, okay? And get those. This is a very easy pattern once you get going with it. I mean, you guys will fall in love. Like I said though, this is definitely a yarn eater. It takes a lot of yarn. Takes a lot of yarn. Especially if you're making a big blanket as I am. Like I said, guys, if y'all are doing a king size and you're wanting it to hang down a pretty good bit, I would go ahead and just order 20 skeins of whatever color or colors you're going to be using, because I ordered 10 and it only covered half. Mine was 127 inches wide, and it's only covering half of the bed so far with only 10 of them. Okay, so the last actual stitch you're going to be doing is the treble crochet here, as far as not going into the turning chain. We started with a treble and we're going to end in the treble in the actual work of the blanket that does not consider turning chains. So here we are at the end of the row. Like I said, if you want to, you can put you a stitch marker here, and you're going to just double crochet into that area right here. So that was row number 3, an odd row. You can kind of see it already given its beautiful little puffiness there. So for your even row, we do single crochet. So this is row number 4. So you are doing a single crochet. Sorry, my battery is dying. You're going to do a single chain, turn your work, and then you're going to single crochet all the way across. So I'm just going to do this really quickly here, all the way across. This is row number 4. It's an even row, and we always single crochet all the way across on an even row. So if you're afraid that you were going to forget what row you're on, or if you're afraid you're going to not do the right thing on the right row, you can definitely use you a row counter. Definitely use stitch markers on the ends if you're afraid you're going to slip and maybe make it shorter, make it bigger by any chance. You can use your stitch markers there at the ends of your rows. I did, since I was doing such a very big project, because it is definitely easy on them bigger projects to make it bigger on one end and not realize it. There's the top of that turning chain, single crochet into that. Okay, so that was our even row. Now we're back to our odd row where we chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Turn your work, and you're gonna kind of see like this right here, where we done went into that. When you see this pop up, the pop-up stitch, you are going to double crochet on row number 5 here on top of it, okay? And then you're going to treble crochet to the one that into the one that you skipped earlier, okay? This is what gives you that diamond plush effect design. I like to call it a diamond design. You guys may want to call it something else. You're more than welcome to. And then you're going to double crochet on top of that other treble. And then you're going to do a treble crochet and wrap around that double crochet that you did. in row number 3. And then you're going to double crochet on top of that last treble you did. Then treble crochet into that double and pull that double up that you did. And then you're going to double crochet on top of the treble. I hope you guys are able to see this. If not, let me know in the comments and I will see if I can find me a lighter. Sorry guys, I'm not giving you the bird. My finger's just itching. But if you guys feel like you need a lighter yarn to see this with, definitely leave it in the comments below. And I will definitely see if I can find some of the yarn that's lighter and maybe do this on a medium 4 weight for a midweek video. I will actually probably do that because I'm looking at a light green right now. I think that would be easy to see on camera, just so you guys can actually see like where your stitches are going. So you done the treble here. So here's the last treble you did, and you're doing a double crochet on top of it. And then you're going to do the treble front post where you done the double crochet before. And then double crochet on top of the in the last row on top of that treble. Treble crochet. You done a treble there, so the last 2 stitches in row number 5, yes, in row number 5 is going to be a double crochet. So you want to make sure you get that turning chain and double crochet into it, okay? You're always going to end and begin with a chain 3 on your odd row and then end with a double crochet. You can kind of see there the little pockets I was talking about, the little like diamond like areas, and depending also on what kind of yarn you use, it may not look like a diamond to you. It may just look like little puffs to you. With this one, it looks like puffs. With my other blanket, my big one, it looks like diamonds. It could be the color, or it could just be, you know, the type of yarn you're using. But I'm going to go ahead and do 2 more rows with you guys. So an odd row, we single chain, we turn our work, and we single crochet all the way across, okay? We're just going to single crochet all the way across. And like I said, guys, this yarn's very forgiving. I mean, it's not going to show any big mistakes, any big loop-de-loops. If you think you maybe like done an extra double crochet in here or anything, it would be very easy to hide and redo your mistake if you know how to chain 2 or double crochet or single crochet 2 together. It would be very easy for you to fix that. Sometimes as creators we do have to do that just to kind of finagle our creation out, you know, and see what we're doing or where we went wrong, what stitch did we miss. Is there a way we can fix it so we can tell our viewers how to fix it if they maybe do the same mistake we did? So we're at the end of our even row, and I just want to show you guys the back is flat. It does have the little ridges like I showed you. It's just hard to see with this darker yarn, but it does have the little ridges like I showed you. Here's 1 ridge, here's 2 ridges. So it does have that, but it is it's literally flat on the back, and then you have this beautiful pattern on the other side. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn your work. And here on this next one, on our row 7, you do not have, the first stitch is not going to be a double crochet because you have this double crochet sitting here, because this stitch here is popped up. So what are we going to do? We're going to treble crochet that first one right there on row number 7. And then where we have it pumped up right here, our little 3D piece right here, we're just going to double crochet on top of it, okay? Same thing that we did in row number 5. You're going to pick up that double crochet and front post treble crochet on it. And then where you see the treble crochet, you're going to follow it up to the top, and you're doing a double crochet into it. Sorry, I misspoke there. Really fun, really easy stitch. I really think if you've been crocheting for a little while or have any background in it, you could probably pick this up pretty easy. I know when I was first looking at this one and trying to figure it out and everything, I was like, whoa, I think I bit off more than I can chew on this. But once I got into it and I figured out where I was messing up and what I was doing, it really just took off and resonated with me. I love this stitch. Only thing I don't love about it, like I told you guys, is it is a yarn eater. It will eat your yarn up quick. I think I went through like 10 balls in like 2 days. If you're doing a throw size and you use 5 balls of yarn, or however many you use for whatever you're using, I think you will be surprised about how quick you will go through that yarn and not even realize how quick you went through it. Because I mean, I zoomed through 10 balls like it was nothing. The only thing that really made mine long and drawn out is the fact that it was so wide. It was the length of it being 27 inches was just mind numbing. It got to a point to where I literally couldn't turn my work. I just kind of had to like fold it and fold it and fold it over to be able to work with it. Then again, right here, we're going to do a treble crochet in the last post right there that we see. Well, that was not a treble crochet, guys. Don't pay attention to that. I was looking, I was like, now wait a minute, that's not a treble. Now remember, on a treble crochet, you're going to pull through 3 different times before you get to the end. You're going to pull through 1, you're going to pull through the first 2 sets, the second 2 sets, and then the third 2. And don't forget, in your turning chain, you are going to double crochet. Okay? And then when you get to the end of it, if it's perfectly square and you don't want to put a border on it, you don't have to. With this stitch, it's so pretty. I feel like it needs to stand out itself. I would go around and maybe put like a single crochet just to give it those finishing edges if you want to. You could even pick out, if you use a variegated yarn like I have here, you could maybe go and find like a light blue to kind of brighten it up a little bit, because this is a darker yarn, so that's probably something I would do. I just go pick out a certain color, and maybe my favorite color, or if I'm trying to tie in a color into my living room or my bedroom that I think would complement what I'm using, get that color and do the border around it just to show that you had the border, to show that it's finished. But you don't have to. I'm not going to cut this yarn because, like I said, I am going to use this for another project for my little fur babies because they really like this yarn. And for some reason, like that blanket, I've got other blankets made out of this yarn. But this particular pattern, I don't know if it feels good on their little posies or what, but they absolutely love this one. So I'm going to use this yarn for that. But if you're just going to tie off, you're just going to go and, you know, loop your yarn. This yarn you can actually break or cut and then just pull that end through there and then weave in your ends with your yarn needles. I do have some metal ones. They're packed up right now. Like I said, I am packing my coffin up. But so I've got the plastic ones out right now, but you can get the ones that are steel and then have the little wool metal piece at the end that you can use with this yarn. It's easier to get through. You don't have to worry about the eyes or anything like that, a very big eye. You can get those at Hobby Lobby. You can also order them online. I cannot remember what shop I ordered them from, but you can go on Amazon and just type in wool yarn needles or wool darning needles and it should pull it up. But these plastic ones, they're okay. I do prefer these with this yarn. It's kind of difficult to get it through, but if you've got like 2 or 3 pieces of yarn you need to pull through and you're trying to weave in, if you pull too hard, you can pull that little plastic wire or loop out from the end on those other ones. But I do like them because they have a bigger eye and your girl's getting old, so I have a hard time seeing them sometimes. But that is the tutorial for today on the diamond stitch. I wish you could actually see the diamond in this one. You can't. But that's the diamond stitch. If you guys want to see that on a smaller yarn, just leave it down in the comments below. Here's the other blanket. Oh yeah, you can actually see the little diamond pieces and how it's more 3D here. And then flat on the other side. I don't think I showed you guys. And this one's just flat on the other side as well. Nothing different. Same thing. I will be putting the specs down in the description box below in case you just need a reminder and don't have to watch the video again. But please, guys, just like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps grow this channel. It really helps my videos be seen and all that good stuff. And I just hope everybody has an enjoyable rest of their weekend or week, whatever day you're watching this on. And I will see you guys again, hopefully on Wednesday, maybe even Sunday. We may end up doing 3 videos a week. It just depends on how this week goes. Me packing and everything, it just really depends. But that is the video tutorial for today on the diamond stitch. And you guys have a great day.